talk about an high workload training block. This is the start of week 2, and honestly, I'm sore already. I do respond really well to high volume training and just like moderate to high rep ranges in general, especially on squat. But the first couple weeks are always an adjustment period, and last week the 10s were pretty rough on high bar squat. This week they were actually a lot better. My top set felt pretty rough, so I had to keep in mind probably need more than just like 3 warm-up sets, because my top sets are obviously a lot lighter than like a top set of 3 or 5 or 1 would be. I'm doing a top set of 8, and so I should probably take smaller warm-up jumps and then get more warm-up sets in general, as opposed to doing my normal warm-ups, because then it leaves me with only 3 sets before I hit my top set. Probably the biggest reason why this one felt so off. And then my first back off set also felt pretty heavy. By the second and third, I was feeling a lot better and like in the groove and ready to squat. So definitely just need a little bit extra warm-up sets before hitting the top set of 8 on high bar. This is feeling pretty good today, actually. Let's continue to play around with that foot position that I was doing on Thursday and Saturday, and it's a little bit more forward, a little bit closer together. That's the wrong weight on there. Maybe I'll change that. um, yeah, so this felt a lot better. That first set, 125, I just wasn't really that happy with, so I did it again, and I moved it a lot better. And then I went up to 127.5, so chipped last week's single by 2.5 kilos, and it moved really well. Happy with the pause, but is staying down and feels strong. This felt really good this day as well. I'm really enjoying this super low intensity volume work. This is my first set here, and then this next set is the last set. 5 sets of 6, and they all moved just as fast. And then the gym got a new belt squat machine, which is pretty sick. Or not a new belt squat, a hack squat. So this is a hack squat. You can face forward like I'm doing, or you could face backwards the other way. Or I guess I'm kind of facing backwards. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You have 2 options, and you have a lot of options on where exactly your feet go. So I'm using this in a way to bias my quads as much as I possibly can. And I was pretty tired and pretty pressed for time at this point. It's pretty late, that I did not want to do multiple sets and multiple warm-ups, so I ended up just putting a plate on and doing it for 1 set 20 and got a pretty nasty quad flow. And gonna change up my pull-up variation a little bit here too. I've been doing neutral grip for quite a while now, so I'm gonna switch to some overhand, not super wide, but just a little bit of change, see what happens. And honestly, these feel a lot easier, surprisingly. Tuesday, we got some close grip volume. I really hate this bench. To be honest, this bench has a really, really fat, squishy pad, and the hooks are. I could have lowered them for this set, probably, or for this day, but it was already there, and it's kind of a pain in the ass to move anyway. But yeah, it's a standalone bench press, and it's made for equipped lifters in multiply bench shirt, and it's not made for little dudes benching 200 pounds. That's for sure, and it's just really uncomfortable, really unstable, and in a way somewhat cheating as well. It allows me to get a much bigger arch and really take advantage of it in a way that's not really complementary to how I usually lift, because it's just artificially inflating the numbers that I lift. It's not super useful. But yeah, did a top set of 5 at 110, and then some back off sets of 7 at 100. Starting to add some weight, the dips. I think it's pretty interesting that I'm just not strong on dips. There's only a 35-pound plate. I did this for 3 sets of 8. They did progressively get easier. I actually did 12 reps on the last set, but it's only 35 pounds. And it's not hard. Granted, like, it doesn't look like I'm struggling, but that's just something I've noticed over the years, is that my raw pressing strength is just not great, even when it comes to dumbbells. But it's never seemed to carry over to my bench press either. I mean, I bench over 300 pounds, and I've seen like 120-pound women doing dips with like 55 pounds hanging from their bodies for 10 reps too, and they're only benching like maybe 130 pounds. So it's just really interesting to see like the difference in my raw pressing strength. Even when it comes to dumbbells, these are only 50-pound dumbbells that I did for sets of 6. And I've never benched more than, I think, 80-pound dumbbells on flat bench. Granted, I don't train it very often, but yeah, it's just kind of interesting to see the correlation there. For me, there's never been a strong correlation between my raw pressing strength and my bench press, but it's just something that's like gradually gone up over time together. Maybe focusing on it now will have some sort of impact, but so far over the last couple months, it hasn't been huge. And then just finish off with some face pulls here. A couple sets of 12 to 15 reps.